let's talk about the distributive property. The distributive property is a shortcut for simplifying expressions. The purpose of it is to simplify expressions. When you have an expression like this, where you have a value on the outside multiplied by a value in a grouping, like 3 times the group of x plus 9, there's multiple ways to simplify it, but we need to get rid of those parentheses. One way to do that is to write it out as repeated addition, where you have x plus 9 3 times. You would further simplify that by bringing down your x's, then you would bring down your 9's, and you would find that the simplified version of this is 3x plus 27. I don't have any parentheses anymore. I can do whatever I need to do with this expression now, the way it is. Well, let's talk about what distributing means. Distributing is giving out or dealing out certain things. So if I'm going to distribute the strawberries to these cups, I'm going to give one to the pink cup, one to the blue cup, one to the gray cup. Each cup gets one. Again, one to the pink cup, one to the blue cup, one to the gray cup. I'm distributing the strawberries. Well, when you look at this expression down below, A times the group of B plus C, when I'm using the distributive property, I'm going to distribute that A, which is outside the grouping symbols, to what's inside. So I'm going to do A times B. I'm going to take the operation, which here is addition. I'm going to bring it over, so I'm going to have A times B plus, and then I have to distribute that A to the C. So the answer, or the simplified version of that expression with the parentheses, is going to be AB plus AC, the product of A and B plus the product of A and C. When I bring that to actual values, I'm going to do that same thing. I'm going to pretend my 5 is my A, and I'm going to distribute that 5 to what is inside the parentheses. So here I would have 5 times x. I'm going to bring that operation over again, that plus sign, and then I'm going to distribute my 5 to my 2. So 5 times 2. For this one, I can further simplify it, so I would do that next. And I would end up having 5x plus 10. Now when I go back and look at that original expression I simplified using repeated addition, this is all the work it took to get me to that answer, to the simplified answer. If I did the same thing using the distributive property, where I distribute the 3 to the x and then I distribute it to the 9, it's much simpler and much quicker to do this way. Now, why might I want to use the distributive property to simplify my life? Well, when you have problems like this, you can use the distributive property to solve it quicker and to make it simpler for you to solve. So this problem right here is 5 times 107. We know that 107 is the same as 100 plus 7. So I can rewrite that original problem, the 5 times 107, so that it is 5 on the outside times 100 plus 7. When I do the distributive property, I'll have 5 times 100 plus, because I'm going to bring that operation down, 5 times 7. I know 5 times 100 is 500. I know 5 times 7 is 35. When I add 535, I have 535. So 5 times 107 is 535. I couldn't have done that in my head just looking at it, but I can do 5 times 100 in my head, I can do 5 times 7 in my head, and I can figure out that that answer is going to be 535. That's what the distributive property is useful for. Now going to where I have an operation that's subtraction, the distributive property works the same way. I'm still going to take that A and I'm going to distribute it to the B. I'm going to keep the operation, so I'm going to have a subtraction sign, and then I'm going to distribute my A to my C. So AB minus AC. When I go to do this with actual values, I'm going to distribute the 4 because it's outside into what's inside. 4 times x. I'm going to keep the operation minus 4 times 3. Again, you have to simplify it, and you're going to have 4x minus 12.